The fuck going on in this motherfucking bitch? They call me the Black Charlie Sheen, aka One Chains. I'm also known as fitness trainer Mr. Train Your Girl. She be doing squats all over my dick. In some circles, I'm simply known as the Don. The Don, the Don. And today I'm bringing you the breakdown of the PPL Week 2. I apologize in advance if I am not in the right mind space in this upcoming battle and in this team builder in this video itself. As some of you might know, I am originally from Russia. I lived in Moscow for most of my life. A little bit over half a year ago, I managed to escape the shit show that is happening in Russia because I am absolutely against the decisions that the government is taking and the geopolitical decisions that are being made and whatever other, situations, including that violence that is coming from the Russian side. I am against all of that. And it's not looking good for Russia overall. It's not a good prospect to live in Russia at this point. It's really dangerous to live in Russia. So I had to take this opportunity to escape that shit show, okay? But a lot of my family, my mother, my grandparents, my close friends have remained in Russia. And just very, very recently, news occurred of a civil war that started in Russia, within Russia. And the forces of the rebels are currently approaching Moscow with a lot of military force. Potentially even bigger and more overwhelming military force than whatever Russia has left over, because obviously of the things that are happening in Ukraine, all the Russian forces, most of the Russian forces are situated there right now. So even though a governmental takeover would be definitely good for the future of that country, but my family and my close friends are in Moscow. They live in Moscow. So they are unfortunately under big threat of course, hopefully that this would not affect them, but they potentially could be in the center of military activities from the side, from the rebellious side. That's why I am really worried. I'm really worried for the safety of my family and the safety of my friends. It just does not feel real. It does not feel real. My sister just showed me a video, sent me a video that somebody over there in Russia shared, that there is tanks and military trucks right next to my old school, the school that I graduated from. And unfortunately, it could get really, really dirty. It could get really, really scary and horrifying for the people that live in Moscow currently. So all my thoughts and prayers are with all the people in Moscow, with every single one of them, especially my family and the remainder of my family that is still in Moscow, and my close friends. So unfortunately, I am not going to. I just don't know how to wrap my head around this. It's a shocking situation, I gotta say. But that's just a little disclaimer, I guess. Most of you would not even give a fuck about that, but just forgive me if I am a little bit out of the right mind space for the upcoming battle and for this particular team builder as well. So we're gonna do the breakdown of our encounter versus NumbNexus. NumbNexus is a phenomenal person. It was hella fun to get to know him, to get acquainted with him, to speak to him. Very wholesome conversations, very wholesome person, and very respectful, funny, just overall an amazing time. We spoke for a few days before we battled. A lot of jokes happened. It's a big pleasure to conversate with this person. I can only show respect. And my boy Nexus now is an honorable mafia member. Which I can congratulate him with. I can tell you that I built this team in particular to fight Nexus. That happened just 30 minutes before the battle itself started. So I did no tests, pretty much almost no theorizing. But so did Nexus. Nexus also didn't prepare at all. He had no time to prepare. And we joked about that a lot. We were really hyped up that both of us are just, going in raw. Like we go in your bitch, you know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. We go in your bitch raw. And it's going to be a very fun battle. A very fun spectacle. For sure. I can assure you that you can get hyped up. It's going to be a crazy battle. But not much preparation has been done from both sides, which actually makes it even, in our opinion, it makes it even more fun because we get more genuine reactions during the video. You know what I mean? Like when you mock fucking 30 times against the same team and you test, you pretty much are prepared for specific scenarios that you would not be prepared and you would be able to genuinely react to if it happened for the first time, So I think that's really the most fun way to do this shit. Like just go in raw, you know what I'm saying? Let's look at the matchup. Compared to last week's matchup, this seems to be like an absolute digestion by Chiyu and Qianpao and Chiyu and Iron Bundle. Compared to my previous opposition, aka Shackle King, Nexus does not have any answers or switch-ins into Chiyu and Bundle. So at first glance, this looks like an unbelievably favorable matchup. But when I started thinking a little bit, like, yeah, I built my team just before the battle started, but I obviously had to think about what I'm gonna bring. And then I started realizing that it doesn't seem as easy as it looks at first. Because look, Sandrush Lycanroc could be a very big problem. Yes, I do have Donphan and I do have Slowbro, but if I don't play them correctly, Lycanroc just outspeeds pretty much everything, and just by itself, Banded Lycanroc with a Cellrock can check Chiyu and Bundle as well. So my two demons that are impossible to switch in for Nexus get checked by Lycanroc pretty easily, at the end of the day. On top of that, SD Bisharp gives me quite a bit of problems. SD Bisharp could be used to break through my answers to Lycanroc, for Lycanroc to sweep, for example, because SD Bisharp can beat Slowbro. It can damage the Donphan to the point where it can't take on Terra Fighting Lycanroc, for example. The Terra types, by the way, on my team are Terra Fighting Steel and Ice Decidueye, and Terra Bug, Dark, and Fire Lokix. And Nexus has Terra Fire, Fairy, and Grass Typhlosion, Terra Steel, Ghost, and Fairy Misdreavus, and he also has Terra Fighting Rock and I think Fairy Lycanroc, if I remember correctly. I'm expecting, honestly, either Terra Fire Typhlosion, because Terra Fire Scarf Eruption goes crazy against my team. It really destroys my team, Well, I can also see either Terra Rock Lycanroc or Terra Fighting Lycanroc, which is also really good into me. Another honorable mention is Terra Fairy Misdreavus, because, for example, if Nexus decides to Toxic Spike and then Spin Block with Misdreavus, and then Calm Mind Terra Fairy after, it could give me some problems. Like, it could be difficult for me to break, surprisingly, So I had two options. By the way, shoutouts to Ifo, Joey, and Mav for giving me some advice when it comes to building. I built the team that I have mostly by myself this time, which is actually crazy, right? I usually get either Mav or somebody else to build the team fully for me. and then I just go from there. I'll be honest with y'all. But for the first time, I built the team by myself, and I just got a few little pieces of advice and few little tweaks from the aforementioned mafia members. Okay, so for the first time, I wasn't the consigliere in the team building. I was the Don, and I got some help from the consiglieres. So realistically, there was two possible scenarios that could happen in this battle, right? There could either be the toxic spiking mischievous situation, and if I don't spin away the toxic spikes, which would be difficult, without bringing Dragalge, I could really get fucked up by toxic spikes, so everything would get poisoned in my team. That's why there was either we would bring Dragalge for that situation, or if we deem the scenario where Sandrush, Lycanroc, and SD Bisharp is more likely, then we have to bring Low-Kicks, because Low-Kicks helps us check those two specific, helps us check those two demons, those two offensive demons. We thought that it is more likely that the Sandrush Bisharp situation would be the case. So I decided to go with the Low-Kicks version. I will show you right now in a second. I would like to also say that Iron Valiante is actually relatively difficult. So for Valiante, I pretty much need to run either Booster Energy bundle or Scarf bundle. That's like a soft check, because even Terra Bug Low-Kicks does around half, a little bit more than half to it. And so Valiante could easily get out of hand. I do have Sylveon. We'll get to the team and I'll show you what I have, but Valiante is actually relatively dangerous. Also would like to mention that AV Max Spadef Slowking doesn't even die to a modest specs Dark Pulse from Shiyu. So even Slowking could potentially cause me problems, even though we do have a Low-Kicks, of course, but still Thundurus, on the other hand, is also really dangerous, because it either spams Prankster T-Waves or just sets up on my defensive Pokemon. For example, it can Nasty Plot Sludge Bomb the Sylveon. It obviously checks Donphan with Grass Knot and deals with Slowbro. So Thundurus is also a problem. So if you honestly look deeper, and then DD Mence could be an issue too, because he can pretty much DD after coming in on Low-Kicks, and then it's also a problem, you know? Salamence or even Scarf Salamence could be an issue. So all in all, you see that this matchup does not look as straightforward as it originally looked. So it could definitely cause us a lot of problems for sure. So the team we decided to go with, I can tell you that the battle was incredible. The battle was hella fun. You're gonna love it. So you can start getting hyped. The battle is going up tomorrow, and the team we decided to choose, as you can see, the following. I'm gonna move my camera right now. We decided to go with the Low-Kicks build. Originally, so there was two situations. If Low-Kicks doesn't come and Dragalge comes, then I probably don't run Heavy Duty Booty on these two, and I think I run Rocky Helmet on Donphan to check the Bisharp better. Because how I deal with Bisharp, I have Slowbro with Heavy Duty Booty, not Colbur Berry, by the way, because +2 Night Slash does 98%. So as long as I am at full health, I will be able to get the damage with Booty Press that I need. That actually doesn't kill the Bisharp, but we would be able to then revenge kill it with Low-Kicks, right? If that wasn't the case, if we had no Low-Kicks, then we would have Donphan with Rocky Helmet to be as a safety airbag against the +2 Bisharp in case... because there's no point running Colbur Berry, right? Because, yeah, it does have, but the next attack kills the Slowbro anyways. So Heavy Duty Booty just allows us to make sure that even if rocks go up, that we are outside of range of max damage from +2 Night Slash. And also Slowbro is a very good answer to Lycanroc, of course. It pretty much checks the Lycanroc. It has the Booty Press for that. Ice Beam is there for Mence. It's also a Mence check, unless Mence is specially attacking, which would make it still a little bit easier. If it's specially attacking, it can't DD, so Steel Packet pretty much checks it, right? So Slowbro is pretty much our answer to the physically attacking demons, and is our way of weakening Bisharp with booty press for either low kicks to revenge, or if we went with Dragalge, it would have been a Donphan with Rocky Helmet to get the Rocky Helmet chip, even if it flinches us with Iron Head. So Rocky Helmet was in case Iron Head flinches, and then it dies to 2 Rocky Helmets from the damage of booty press. Okay, so Surf is there, pretty good coverage against the team. Surf overall a little bit stronger than a psychic move into this particular team, because it hits Donphan, of course, you know, it hits Typhlosion and all that crap. And then yeah, Ice Beam for Demence, as I said. Slack Off, just self-explanatory. Max Defense, we have to run Max Defense to be able to take on hits from Lycanroc, if Lycanroc has D's as well, and Bisharp. Okay, then I guess let's start with the defensive core in this case. We also have Donphan here. So because this this version does not have Dragalge, I pretty much have a better way of checking Bisharp and a better way of checking Lycanroc if Lycanroc gets out of hand. Because +2 Life Orb Terra fighting Lycanroc does damn near 85% to Donphan or something, or even, yeah, so if it's prior chipped, and it can just kill me on the spot. So we need low kicks to check that. Donphan is max defense here again, because we need to take on Bisharp. We need to take on potentially even take a hit from Mence if it gets low. We need this for it just seems to be better than max attack in this particular matchup. Okay, because if it was max attack, we probably would have went with Ice Shard, but we're choosing no Ice Shard, which could be a little bit scary against the Thundurus. But the idea against Thundurus, I probably would have went Ice Shard if we were Dragalge, because if Thundurus is running Nasty Plot, then it has to have Thunderbolt, of course, right? Then it needs Sludge Bomb for Sylveon, and then in this case, he can't run Protect for low kicks in first impression, so that means that Donphan walls it. But if it is running Grass Knot to beat Donphan, then it means that it doesn't have Protect, and Pablo can just go stupid, you know what I mean? So that's the set. This is going to be our Stealth Rocker, Spinner. I pretty much get a free spin on Lycanroc, I get a free spin on Donphan, so spinning would be really easy. That's why we don't really need heavy duty booty on these two, but we are running heavy duty booty on these two just in case of some Toxic Spike situation, and I probably would have preferred Leftovers on Sylveon, to be honest, but heavy duty booty is fine just in case things go wrong, okay? Sylveon is Max Spadef, Hyper Voice, Wish, Protect, Baton Pass. Max Spadef is absolutely needed because this is our check to Valiante. We can check Valiante if it's chipped to half with low kicks. We can also do it with Scarf Iron Bundle, but having a defensive check to Valiante is very important. Also, this potentially could take on, you know, a few hits from Typhlosion type of thing. It can help me beat Misdreavus if it gets out of hand. So max, considering these two are max defense, having this at max defense didn't make sense, so we just have max Spadef on this. Then we got Scarf Bundle. Originally, this was Booster Energy, just with one more speed to outspeed Booster Energy Valiante, but we realized that Scarf is probably going to be better, just because then I don't have to worry about preserving the Booster Energy, and this way I can also engage in a dynamic where, for example, I bring in Iron Bundle, I flip turn on the Slowking coming out into U-turn on low kicks, most likely on the Hippowdon, to bring in Shiyu, to position in Shiyu and claim a kill. So this particular sequence would have been really good for us, and that obviously requires me to not run Booster Energy. I obviously need Scarf. Scarf still checks the Valiante in case it gets out of hand late game. Checks the Booster Energy Valiante, and then self-explanatory moveset. As I said, one more speed than Valiante, so that we guaranteed outspeed Booster Energy Valiante. And yeah, this time we decided to go with Specs Modest Shiyu. Listen, bro, we want to smoke ass. We want to smoke ass, and we are going to smoke ass, alright? Nobody is stopping us from claiming motherfuckers with this demon. The idea of this is that in case So my game plan was as following. The only real scenario that I was thinking about, if we are thinking about Sandrush and Bisharp combination and potentially Mens, and not Overquill Misdreavus, then I lead Shiyu into Hippowdon, potentially Max Spadef Hippowdon, because he would expect me to either lead Donphan or Lokix, because Lokix was my lead last week as well. And in this case, if I lead Donphan or Pablo, then if I lead the Don or Pablo, then he can get up rocks and most likely spam John. So John spam would be really annoying for us, right? Because yes, I can spin on the Hippowdon, but that means that I either get my own rocks up or I spin. There is no scenario where I get both of them, because Hippo just goes for John and I have to switch out, or I have to go to sleep and then he gets up rocks again. So that is really useless. That's why I was hoping that he would try to lead with Hippowdon turn 1, and we lead with Shiyu. The thing about Shiyu is that if Hippowdon is max Spadef, then Timid specs Shiyu has only about like a 40% chance to one-hit KO with Overheat. And Scarf, even Scarf Modest Shiyu never kills Max Spadef Hippowdon from full with Overheat. So the idea is to try to lure him into making calcs and thinking that he pretty much always lives the Chiyu hit and try to get greedy and Earthquake and kill the Chiyu turn 1. That's kind of like the ideal scenario for me, because if we get rid of Sand immediately, then it opens up a lot of different things for us. You know, it just makes it a lot less threatening, the overall team. That's why we're going Modest Specs. Modest Specs does 101% minimum with Overheat to Hippowdon. So that is the main goal. On top of that, we don't really, because if you look at it, we don't really need anything for Chiyu to outspeed. Because, yes, we can speed tie with Salamence, but who's gonna rely on speed ties with Salamence? Yeah, we become slower this way than Typhlosion, but Typhlosion can't really do too much to us anyways. Like, we resist both of Typhlosion stabs. So there is no need to be faster than Typhlosion. We have enough speed to outspeed Jolly, Overquill, or Timid Misdreavus. But besides that, if we're not running Scarf, then there is no need to run Timid on specs, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because obviously Cryogonal always outspeeds us anyways, Thundurus outspeeds us anyways, and speed tying with Salamence, that's a 50-50. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. So Modest really makes a lot of sense. Modest, it just gets a kill every single time it comes in for free. Like, let's say it comes in on Hippowdon, or it comes in on a slow baton pass from Sylveon, or it comes in after U-turn on some specific switch into something. You know, it just always possesses like insane amount of threat. And then we got Pablo. Pablo is back on the Yayo. Listen, Pablo has been in rehab for some time. Pablo has been off the Yayo for a few months now. I think the last time Pablo was on the Yayo was about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. So he cleaned himself out, he saved up a little bit of money, and now the old habit came back. Pablo met up with Diego, you know what I'm saying? They purchased some Yayo, and now they're on the Yayo again, bro. We knew it was good. We knew what it was gonna happen. Realistically, we all here in the Mafia, we understood that sooner rather than later, Pablo will be back on the Yayo. And this is it. The day has come. The day has come. That silver powder, that nice cocaine, you know what I'm saying? Lokix on this shit. Yayo is in Pablo's system once again. And Pablo is gonna go crazy. I can guarantee you that Yayo is the source of strength for Pablo. I can absolutely I promise to you that Pablo on the Yayo is gonna go crazy this game. Mark my words, this motherfucker is gonna destroy the opposition. Because when Pablo is on the Yayo, there is no stopping. Nobody can stop this shit. Nobody. I tried. I tried. Even me, the Dawn, cannot stop Pablo from this shit, bro. But as long as Pablo gets the job done, he can do whatever he wants, bro. It's his own life. It's his own life. He's destroying himself. If he wants to destroy himself, destroy his brain, go ahead. As long as you get the job done. Alright. Silver Powder Low Kicks. Terra Bug. This is gonna be our Terra Captain. No switch-ins to First Impression Tinted Lens unless you want to take half with Valiante. Everything else just gets fucked. U-turn destroys everything. Suka Punch is there obviously for important coverage. And Axe Kick is there in case Bisharp gets out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Pretty self-explanatory. Adamant, max attack. We have 270 speed because I think it speed creeps something. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, it speed creeps Modest. Modest max speed Misdreavus or Adamant Overclaw. They hit 269. So this is what the speed is for. The rest in HP. Low Kicks is going to be very important in positioning those two demons in and breaking for them as well. Because, yeah, I mean, the team is looking pretty... I like the way the team is looking, but I can tell you that still, don't get fooled. We might get a little bit overwhelmed. That's why we're bringing 3 walls and 3 offensive motherfuckers. But the team looks really, really nicely balanced, I feel like. I'm really enjoying the draft that we have this time around. You know, it's looking really strong. All right, I've been talking for way too long. Enjoy this little, you know what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all tomorrow in the battle. Stay tuned for that shit. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit, Mafia.